All right, joining me right now is the former two division champion for one championship, Martin Nguyen. Thank you, Martin, man. It's good to catch up with you.
Always a pleasure to jump on the show, man.
For sure, man. Let's talk about Florida, man. You're back there again. I believe this is your fourth or fifth camp at Sanford MMA or in Southern Florida. How's everything going?
Everything's man. It's a dream. It's a blessing to be here, and I'm I'm thankful that I'm able to still do my job and live the life that. And it sucks leaving my family because they have to stay in Australia. But for me to come over here and put everything into each camp and not be half-hearted camps at home, it's a blessing, man.
With yourself, you've accomplished a lot already at such a young age, and you could have just said, I'm just gonna stay in Australia and I'm just gonna do my training camp there because you've done so much already. How do you keep motivated to just like keep going out there and accomplishing more?
You know, I always thought about it and lived by it. But if I'm not gonna be in this sport forever, right? So every moment in that circle, in that cage, has to count. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it properly, and I'll put everything into it. It's all or nothing. I know I won two titles back in Australia, and I thought that it had worked then, but I now discovered that it's a whole new world out there when it comes to training camps and being at Sanford and under the watchful eyes of world leading coaches. I can say that everything is done right, even up until this day.
As the years go by, the competition gets stiffer too, right?
100%, man. The older I get, man, the harder it is to recover. For real. No, but yeah, it. Everyone's getting better, man. Everyone's just, everyone's like a sponge in this sport. When something new comes out, it's a huge trend that everyone jumps on board. So you just gotta adapt with the times and move forward, or otherwise you're being left behind.
I think a lot of people have a misconception that you just jump ship because you actually do have coaches in Australia that you work with while you're there and you have training partners there. It's not like you just completely left.
Nah, 100%, man. I have a small team at home, and I'm still under my coach Chrysler. He's been there for me since I won the title, man. So Chrysler sets out my pre-camps before he gets me ready for the big guys coming over to South Florida. So when I'm in Australia, my boys are home. They keep me sharp. They keep me on my feet. And my coach prepares a pre-camp before I come over to South Florida. And then when I get here, man, it's a jungle, man. And it's gonna be a lion. You're gonna be ready to eat. So my training partners have been amazing. Everything has been a blessing, man.
Chrysler, he's in your corner every time, also, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. It's until the wheels fall off, man. I got Chrysler with me until my career is done.
All right, now when you're working, man, who's the training partners you got down there? There's so many people.
Man, I've got man. This camp has been like huge. Everyone's in fight camp basically. April is like a hot month for every single fighter in that gym. But main partners, man, Till Tang. I got my brother with me every single camp. Sean Soriano. I've got Sanford now have Nick Lentz as one of the coaches. So I've been working close with Nick. And then you got like the standouts, man, like Jared Gordon, Chas Kelly. We also have Rafael from Taga Muay Thai. He came over, Fitties. So I've been working a bit of stand up with him as well. Man, the gym's full of killers, full of killers. There's so many to name, and it's like I'm trying to get their clout if I name them.
Yeah.
No, but man, it's man, I don't know. Words can't describe it. I've different types of styles in that gym, man. That you have to try to adapt to and move on with, and everyone's high level as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, you bring up a good point. It's the different styles and high level. When you go to certain gyms, almost some gyms, every guy has the same style in some ways, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, yeah, it's true what you say. When you go to different gyms, they got the same trait of movement, same trait of fighting style. But now, I don't know, man. This month of April, man, everyone's in this gym. We got wrestlers, we got strikers, we got different type of guys, and we also have the system that Henry Hoover and Greg Jones, Kami Razani have that makes everyone add to their arsenal as well. So we're all feeding off each other.
All right, now April 14th, you got this matchup. Jae Woong Kim, he called you out, or actually, he just called for the fight. He got the fight, but I'm wondering, like, what happened with Gary Tonin? What happened with Ton Lee? I mean, you don't hear anything from them, and I'm thinking like maybe you should have been matched up with one of them at least. But what was the situation with that?
Don't know, don't care to be honest. Kim Jae Woong was the guy on the contract, and that's the contract I signed. So he's the next man, regardless of what's happening with the rest of the division. Not my problem.
I know you're a student of the game and you watch One Championship closely. What kind of fire do you see in Kim?
He's young, he's hungry. Obviously, he wants to be at the top. He wants to get that title, and I'm his next step towards that goal. So yeah, that's all I can say about him.
You've been in that position before.
100%, and I know he's going to be working his heart out to try and finish me devastatingly, or try and get that dub to get that title shot against the champion. So I know what it feels like, and I know the emotions he's gone through. But I'm on my own journey, and I know what I have to do to win. So
when you look at this matchup stylistically, what's the excitement level for you like?
man, at least someone's going to come forward. No one's running in this fight, right? We're going to be clashing, and may the best man win.
For sure. Now, do you see this fight hitting the ground anytime?
Oh, you never know where it's going to go, man. I said that my last fight, the fight was going to hit the ground, but that went out the window, and we just stood there. But you never know in a fight. Like obviously, I work with high level wrestling coaches and jiu-jitsu coaches, so if it gets there, I'll be comfortable. But if it doesn't, then I'll still be comfortable. Wherever it may go, man, the fight is going to be a fight. He's an exciting fighter. I'm a problem for everyone in this division, so we'll see what happens.
You've been fighting 5 rounders for years now, and now this is a 3 rounder. What differences do you make in your preparations?
It's a huge difference, man. It's more, you have to focus a lot on output. Now, before I could rely on the championship rounds. If I'm down a few rounds, then I can come back on those championship rounds. But with these first 3 rounds, man, it's all or nothing, right? The output has to be high, the cardio has to be crazy again. I've been in these situations before where you got to do it from the get go. You got to start from the get go. There's no slow starting.
Yeah, and also, like you said, the output, man, that makes this fight so much more exciting because he has a lot of output himself, and it almost seems like he puts the pedal to the metal just from the start.
But yeah, that's the type of style that I started with as well when we were fighting 5 rounders. But when I went to 5 rounders, I had to adjust, and you can kind of kick back a bit and assess your opponent. But now it's back to the fast pace, like the amateur days for boxing. So boxing amateurs is like more fast paced than boxing professionally. You can kind of take your time because you got those later rounds. But yeah, man, it's just all about output. My cardio is always on point, so I have no problem with that.
What's shitty about this sport is that they only remember you for your last performance. They don't really go back and see what you have experienced in your career. And when you look at your career, you've fought titles, you've come back from losses, you've come back from title losses. So do you think people they're easy to forget about that, and they just look at that last one and just say, oh, he's just wild?
Look, it is what it is, man. Yeah, I always used to say he's only as good as his last bout. But a lot of people can change, and a lot of people have proved me wrong. So I don't really care what other people think of me, man. That last fight, it is what it is. It happened. I've come to accept what happened, and it's all about getting better and moving forward. That's the only way you're gonna get better.
Has that ever in your career got into your head though, like what people say and what people think about you?
Not necessarily. The only thing that really got to me was when I was getting like called out by different people who I've never even heard of, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And they were like throwing disrespect towards my name. But other than that, man, I've come. It comes with experience to deal with kind of all this type of stuff, man, and not get too deep into it. Stuff that's irrelevant. So I didn't really care anymore, man.
All right. So what kind of performance are you expecting against Kim?
performance of the night. Hopefully that 50K bonus. Get my second 50K bonus in one championship. But you know what? I don't really care, man. No matter what, whatever it takes, get that W.
So they have bonuses in one championship? I've heard they give those out, but it's just not in public.
Yeah, it's super rare. You gotta win devastatingly and against like a high level person. But yeah, once in a while they do give it out. But I don't focus too much on I want that, I need that. I just get that double check for me, man. I'm happy.
This is your first non-title fight since 2017 when you fought Yokota. I remember talking to you like maybe after that, and you're still working a job then. When you think about that, and how far you have come in 4 years, does that put it into perspective, man, of like what you did in this sport already?
Man, it has been 4 years, eh? When was Yokota? Yokota was January of 2017.
Yeah.
Right, man, that's oof.
It flew by, huh? It flew by.
I'm too old for this, man. I'm too old for this, man. Yeah, it's as I said, man. This journey that I'm on, man, and meeting the people that I have met, it's made me into the person who I am today. And realistically, man, I would say not much has changed, man. I'm still the same guy I was back in 2013 when I first started. I know where I come from. I know my roots. I know what I need to do, and I have the task that I set in front of me every single time, and I always accomplish it, no matter what. So we'll go from there.
All right, man. April 14th, 1 on TNT2. You get the American audience. It's going to be a banger. Thank you, Martin, for the time.
My guy. Thank you, John.